Another day, another chance, another way, another dance. So yeah, um, pretty much some could form edits and updates. So what we're gonna go over is that but it's chapter 6 for H.T.M.X. I know you haven't seen me in a while. I'm sure you guys miss me, but yeah, I just want to implement something that I figured I didn't implement before. It's ChatGPT and also debugging. So that's what I'm gonna implement in my chapter. And my navigator is gonna be a person called the Dabo, right? It's gonna be navigating my video. So yeah, and probably putting some prompts, putting some input too. Sharp, bro. So let's get to this and let's go. Yeah. So obviously, no problem. Yeah, I'll share it now. Share my screen now. Yeah. So on my File Explorer, what I did was I went to my address bar on my File Explorer, which is here. Then I typed in CMD and for chapter 6, and then send me to my command prompt. And then here it's got the copyright installed, PACs and everything. So that's what it's got. So what we have here is the version of Python that I'm using. So I'm using 3.1.10. To restart it anytime, enter rs, watch paths, watch extensions, starting node server.js. Server is running on port 3000, etc., etc. So as you can see, my port is running, restarting due to changes, down due to change, starting node.server.js, and then server is running on port 3000. So as you can see, that's Kabelo. Yeah. Correction. It's not really Python. It's Node.js. I mean, so basically, it's a framework of JavaScript. Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you for that, navigator. Thank you for that correction. Okay, I made a mistake. It's not Python. It's Node, but it's Node Man 3.1.10 that I'm using. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. There. So that's what it's making use of. So that's what it is. So in this code, so obviously I made use of like ChatGPT. So in chapter 6, we got show edits, form, and updates. So this is the implementation of ChatGPT. So this is the code that I've got here. So what I did was I went to ChatGPT, typed up instruction, which is please give me instructions on what chapter 6 is all about, and then gave me a whole synopsis. It pretty much gave me a whole rundown of what it's all about, and also the code that I wanted to get commented out. Instructions. I put instructions on commenting out the server.js part of my code. So as you can see here, you got comments here, comments, the comments and comments. So that's what I'm gonna be reading up just now. So let's get to it. So in chapter 6, show edit form and update, goal of this chapter is going to teach you how to edit existing data inline without a full page reload. Use H.T.M.X to dynamically show an edit form when the user clicks an edit button. Let users update the data directly on the same page and immediately display the new values. Once you learn how to reveal an edit form dynamically, example, you have a list of quotes or users. When you click edit, H.T.M.X fetches and swaps in the edit form instead of taking you to a new page. Swapping HTML with H.T.M.X using attributes like hxGet fetch that form from the server, and hxTarget specify where the form should appear. hxSwap equals out to HTML. Replace the clicked item with the form. Submit the update. The edit form uses hxPut or hxPost to send updated data to the server. The response replaces the form with the updated contents, the new quotes text. Keep it seamless. No page reloads and no heavy JavaScript. The user edits and sees results instantly. Then so that's pretty much the instructions. So the user edits and sees results instantly. No heavy JavaScript, no page reloads. Keeps it seamless and etc. So we've got an HX swap, right? Which is the out HTML, which replaces the clicked item with the form. Then HX target specify where the form should appear. Then HX get fetch the form from the server. So that's it. So let's get to this. And I also ran a script or dev for chapter 6. So I actually debugged my code. So the first debugged version that I want to show you is htmx.org, htmx.org. So I pretty much got my fetch, doc, CSS, font. So this is pretty much my network. So there's no throttling involved, right? So my network isn't throttled. That means it has been slowed down, right? So it's my network's pretty much getting coded. And then yeah, I got my console, etc. So that's what I have. And let's get to this. So I got my code stack, which is my code stack, which pretty much tracks down my model job. And yeah, my code stack, my watch. I'm not watching anything. I'm not watching any changes in my code. But then I got my global, and then I got my global here. So nothing's been globalized, and then I got create application. So I got Express, which pretty much is app event emitter, app request, expose the prototype. This is pretty much from a variable app, which is function request, and then next, right? So that's what it is. So that's for my those are my express values, right? Those are my like my express values that I got there. So that's what I have, you know. So yeah. So let's do this. So we got imports Express from Express. So what I'm doing is I'm importing Express from Express. So what I'm doing is I'm importing the request, response, to route, caller, arguments, and application static. So this is pretty much for my library. This is pretty much for my library. Yeah, Express.
So basically, you're creating an instance for the Express
Yeah,
server.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you, Navigator. Thank you. So that's what I'm doing. So it's got my static route, pretty much got everything. My URL, my encoded URL, my JSON from Express. So this is pretty much my address for my module C drive user admin app data local Microsoft TypeScript 5.9 module underscore modules at types express index. So I got my constant app, which is address express. I mean, no, which is express. And then I got my middleware setup, right? Server static files from the public folder, example CSS, JS images, which is app.use. Then this is my parse from data, application xwww form URL encoded. And then I got my express.url encoded, extended true. And then I got my app.use express.json, parse JSON data, application, and JSON. And then delete route H.T.M.X request, right? Trick it when the delete profile button is clicked. Responds with an alert message that replaces the profile card. And then app.delete user ID request resolution, and then equals to and greater than, and then res.send. So that's what it has. So this pretty much triggers when the delete profile button is clicked, responds to the alert message that replaces the profile card, and then profile has been deleted, div, and then edit form route HTMX request and then triggered when the edit button is clicked. Returns an HTML form pre-filled with the user's current info, and then uses H put to update, the profile and submit. So this is pretty much your get, your app get. So this is pretty much your request handler. So this actually like triggers an edit form route, which the HTMX request. Then yeah, so user ID edits request request, then res, then equals to or greater than res dot send. Then it's gonna print out a form which in each X put, which actually pretty much allocates the request and the parameters of the request as well, along with its ID, and then it's got the HX target this, HX swap out of HTML div class MB3 label for
So
and
basically, that everything within there it
yeah.
calls. Uh, yeah, it literally calls everything from the HTML, and if not, it'll just edit some of the stuff from the HTML.
So let me actually step over. So all my breaking points, I actually stepped over.
Yeah,
Okay, let
because
me
remember,
step over.
that's this. You added the breaking points to these comments. So I think that's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing now. So let me just step over again. But what happened was I added comments. So where my breaking points were,
Yeah,
that's where
like that's
everything
when.
is now.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, yeah. Right, so okay, let me go up. So obviously we got this. We already with the table we already went through this piece of code, and then you gotta put route, which HTMX request triggered when the user submits the edit form, updates the profile with a new name and bio, returns updated profile card, add delete buttons, and then you got app.put user ID request resolution equals to or greater than, and then constant
So
ID.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, with the put request, it will handle the profile update. Yeah. Like from what you read, from what you're trying to like explaining.
Yes, that's what. So it's constant ID. So for this variable constant, what happens here is this. Okay. So the constant variable, what it does is it sets everything in such a way that once your IDs have been set, your names and anything that has a const in it, once been set, if any changes are made to those, an error, it will return an error. So it pretty much sets everything to stone, unlike the var variable which allows you to make changes or modifications to your code or anything that it gets allocated to. So if you make any modifications after the const variable has been to any piece of code that the const variable has been set to, you return an error. So you got your output, your ID, which request parameter ID, your name, request body name unknown, fallback if no name entered, and then bio request body, no bio yet. request body.bio or no bio yet. So this is or, right? So these are conditions. So depends on whether either of them get met. Hence, we got two, which is or fallback if no bio entered res.send, right? So this pretty much sends like an ID name bio ID ID. So that's what I have. So let's so yeah. So obviously I stepped over into my const ID request parameters ID. Just stepped over to there, and then so obviously I got my res.send div ID users, edit form, reloads form, click to edit, delete button.
Basically, sorry for the story.
That's
So
fine. It's
basically,
fine.
those
I
stuff
need that.
has
Yeah.
H.T.M.X attributes
Yeah.
to
It's
allow replacing the card
yep.
when editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Navigator. Need that. So that's pretty much what it is. And then
Yeah, what's this? And the final part.
so this is my function actually. So this actually is the this is the it's called once.js, right? So this is part of my JS, right, where this is like once.js
Yeah,
object
what's
that
this? I don't think. Yeah, we don't have like we don't have that
yeah we don't,
currently. So I think you don't have to explain this one.
right? No problem. But this actually happens when you like this actually my this actually like happens when you debug the code. You know what I mean? So you got your fn function variable f return f. Then once that proto variable wrap so okay, these are like modules that exports wrap once. So that's what everything is here. And then so the server runs the express app on port 3000 console logs when the server is live. So app.listen 3000 comma equals to or greater than, and then console log server is running on port 3000. So on your console log, so server is running on port 3000. So obviously this is the what's going to return servers running on port 3000. So that comments that we saw on our VS Code is a comment that you're going to see on our command prompt. So that's what you see here. So console log servers running on port 3000. And then navigator,
So basically,
can you
that is
explain
just
my
the HTML.
HTML codes for me? Can you explain my HTML code for me?
For the HTML code,
Hey,
you
sorry, I
don't
just want
really
to
need to.
see.
Yeah, what's this? The HTML code, you don't really need to explain that as long as you've got your JS. Then, what's this? When you go to your page, that's when you can actually
See.
display on what is going on.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it would be nice if everyone gets to know like what happens, and also it'd be good for the navigator to get like an opportunity to speak. So yeah, as it, as we all understand that this like the framework for like the front end. Otherwise, it'd be great if you can like give like a synopsis of everything that's happening here.
Like, okay, for the head,
Yeah.
we have quite a few APIs. So
Yeah.
line 10, you can see that, okay, we have a script, we have a link to an HTMX library. Then,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, then we have the title within the head. And then we have another link to, what's this? Another uh, API. So basically, for those APIs, right, they are literally giving us the following: the HTMX attributes, styling within the HTML and also the CSS. That's also we're just also getting the link. But
Yeah.
for those things, but for the head, right, except for the title, those things are gonna be running in the background. Then when we get to the body, that's our initial. Oh, what's this? That's our initial. What's gonna be shown within
Yeah.
the our web page.
Yeah.
We have another script of the one of the APIs which will just uh, make the HTML and CSS official. And yeah,
And then for the body, then
yeah,
for
the
yeah.
body, that's all the stuff that we're gonna literally see. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, if you can go, now that you have uh, this, right? Have Jada Matele, and you also have Dora of a higher software developer, coding chain and everything. If you go to your web page, you should be seeing those stuff.
Yeah. Right, no problem. And then your edit button.
Okay, we have the get HX get, so it will fetch the edits from the server.
Yeah.
The HX target, so basically we'll tell the HTMX what where to insert the response,
Yeah.
and the HX swap. So basically, what we'll do is that it will replace whatever is on the HTML card.
Right, no problem. No problem, bro. Then
Yeah.
delete button. It's pretty much same thing.
But then with the delete, it will just remove the. We'll just send a delete request
Yeah.
to to whatever you have.
No problem.
Yeah.
And then you got your load bootstrap JS bundle. So your API here,
Yeah.
bootstrap. So it includes pub for dropdowns, tooltips, etc. Script source, and yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what that's for.
What?
This.
With the HTML one.
Like the API, yeah. This one, this part.
The, the API basically that's for the yeah. I think it's for the styling. Yeah,
Right.
Bootstrap. It's for styling.
Right, no problem. No problem, man. No problem.
Yeah,
Then obviously you got your package dash log.json, right, with your license names, versions, dependencies. Then you got your package.json with your dev test, dev dependencies and node man. So let's actually execute this code. Let's actually go to the code and execute it. So as you can see here, your HTML is at work. So what HTML does is pretty much sets up the framework for everything that's on front end or on a web browser or on a web page. So it's the framework for that, and then your server.js not only does it run your code on your terminal or your command prompts, run all your code on your terminal or serve on your terminal via the server, but also adds functionality to all the ID elements and all the classes that you set in your HTML. Hence, you got ID elements and you got like classes to refer to when you want to add functionality to every single piece of code that you got in your index.html to your server.html. Because server.js, what it makes use of JavaScript, and that's what it does. It adds all the functionality to all the front end code that that you have to pretty much make sure that everything on the front end actually executes or receives requests, executes functions, and etc. Without your JavaScript, or in this case, the server.js that's run by the JavaScript, you won't have any functionality. Same thing with HTML. Without the HTML code, you won't have any framework for your web page. So yeah. So let's get to this. So I'm going to type in my name, Kabelo Xabendlini. If you want to know what that means, Kabelo Sutu for gift. Then Xabendlini is also for pretty much like blocking the house. Abe the Ndlini, pretty much like house blocking. So every name has a meaning. At least you know. Son of Tozamil Xabendlini, and then software developer, web developer, uh, coding, coding specialist, and IT technician. So that's what you have. Then save changes. Then as you can see, Xabendlini, son of Tozamil Xabendlini, web developer, coding specialist, IT technician. So actually, we're executing everything that you see on CRUD except for the C part. As you can see here, everything this code actually got debugged for my network because everything is making use of a network. This all my
Message your
edits,
thing. Server.
yeah, my server and on my via my server, you can actually see the changes that I've made. So status 200 type X, XHR and then HTMX.org. Then yeah, size 0.2 KB. So that's the size of the edit changes and how much time it actually took to execute those changes, which is 101 milliseconds, 392 milliseconds. So yeah, you can see that, and then you've got your this is actually your network here, man. So it's resources for requests, and then if you delete the profile, then obviously it gives you a prompt. Let's see where I allocated this prompt. I show HX confirm. So as you can see here, for all my H.T.M.X, all the stuff that I've got, all my HX requests, targets, swaps, and confirms. As you can see here, you got localhost at 3000. Are you sure you want to delete this profile? As you can see, I allocated a prompt, which is HX confirm, and then are you sure you want to like delete a profile? Then press OK. Then as you can see here, it gives you this
Profile has been deleted.
yeah, it pretty much gives you this delete button, removes card after delete, and then yeah, it pretty much gives you
Then
something that
just
says
show
profile has been deleted. Otherwise, obviously, if you want to redo this and you want to get your profile back, what you do is refresh the page, and as you can see here, it's been refreshed. And then as you can see here, your network actually is showing you Bootstrap bundle min.js, HTMX.org, Bootstrap min, HTMX, and etc. Is that right? Edit Xabendlini, son of Tozamile Xabendlini, also neo technician. In my case, IT, you damn, specialist, and then coding trainer. Oh, right. So coding technician, coding technician, then software or web developer. So obviously web development is like engineering, it's like web engineering. So an engineer is a person that actually executes. So you're pretty much doing like computer science, but also like web engineering in the sense that we do execution. It's not just theory, it's execution. So we're just executing, the engineering of the web, the development of the web. So web developer, coding technician, IT specialist, and then yeah, save changes. There we go. So as you can see, everything's been debugged here. So my sources, right? So everything has been debugged for my network. So my network makes note via my server of everything that has been done to it. So that's what happens. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Navigator, for navigating my video. Until next time, take care, Lord bless, and I'll see you, man. Thanks. So I'll stop sharing.